The small intestines are covered in finger-like projections called villi, and those have even tinier finger-like projections on top of them called microvilli. Inside of the villi are tiny blood vessels called capillaries. The nutrients absorbed in the small intestine move across the single layer of cells on the microvilli into the capillaries by the process of either diffusion or facilitated diffusion, depending on which nutrient is being absorbed. Now we'll find out what happens to the nutrients after they enter the bloodstream. Capillaries are part of the circulatory system. Its job is to transport nutrients and oxygen to cells. It also takes carbon dioxide and other waste away from cells, where it will be disposed of, whether it's through urine, sweat, or your lungs, where you breathe out carbon dioxide. All of these substances are solutes dissolved in the blood. They will each move in and out of cells and the bloodstream from high concentration to low concentration. The circulatory system includes not only tiny capillaries, but larger blood vessels called veins and arteries, and the heart, which pumps blood around. Circulation, or the movement of blood throughout the body, is divided into two parts: pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. The word pulmonary has to do with the lungs, so pulmonary circulation refers to blood moving between the heart and the lungs. In the lungs, the blood picks up oxygen and gets rid of carbon dioxide. Just like in the small intestine, there are capillaries in the lungs, where oxygen you breathe in diffuses into the capillaries, because the blood that enters the lungs does not have much oxygen in it. And carbon dioxide, which is produced as a waste product of breaking down sugar for energy, moves from where it's more highly concentrated in the blood to the lungs, where it's less concentrated. You then breathe out and get rid of the carbon dioxide. Systemic circulation refers to the circulation between the heart and all other body tissues. The job of the heart is to pump blood to the lungs to oxygenate it, and to pump oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. To do this, the blood enters the heart on the right side. You might notice that this picture looks a little backwards, but if you imagine taking this picture and holding it up to someone's chest, it corresponds to their right side and their left side. So this is the way pictures of the heart are always drawn. Blood first enters the heart on the right side into the right atrium. It then flows to the right ventricle. From there, blood is pumped to the lungs, where it gets rid of carbon dioxide and picks up oxygen. To get oxygenated blood to the whole body, the blood must return to the left atrium. It then moves to the left ventricle, where it's pumped out of the body, which is pumped out through the largest blood vessel in the body, the aorta. Go back 2 slides where the circulatory system is drawn, and try to follow the blood through the body. A group of nerves on the right atrium causes the atrium to contract. The message then travels to the ventricles, causing them to contract a fraction of a second after the atria. This is why the heartbeat sounds like a thump-thump instead of just one thump. There are 3 different types of blood vessels that can be defined by their size and whether or not the blood contains a high level of oxygen. Veins are larger vessels that contain oxygen-poor or deoxygenated blood. Veins carry blood towards the heart. There's one vein in the body that carries oxygenated blood, and that's the pulmonary vein, which brings blood to the heart from the lungs. After the lungs deliver oxygen to the blood returns to the heart so it can be pumped to the rest of the body. Another unique characteristic of veins is that they have valves. These are flaps of tissue that keep the blood from moving backwards. You'll see a picture of these in the next slide. There are also valves in the heart that keep blood from flowing backwards as well. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessel. They're only 1 cell thick, so that oxygen, carbon dioxide, and waste can diffuse between tissues and capillaries very easily. These are inside microvilli and take in nutrients in the small intestine. As muscles contract in your arms and legs, they help squeeze the blood back towards the heart. Here's a valve where you can see the flap of tissue keeping the blood flowing upwards in this case. The valve keeps it from flowing back downwards. Arteries are blood vessels that take blood away from the heart. Blood that travels through arteries is oxygen-rich. The only exception to this is the pulmonary artery. It takes blood from the heart to the lungs, so that doesn't have oxygen in it yet. It's a common misconception that blood in arteries is red and blood in veins is blue. This isn't true. Blood in arteries is bright red, and blood in veins is a dark reddish brown. It's often shown as blue in pictures so that unoxygenated blood can be easily picked out. Because blood leaves the heart and goes directly to the arteries, blood can be felt pulsing through arteries. There are a few arteries that are so close to the surface so they can be felt as a pulse. The heart beats and causes blood to push against arteries as it flows. This pressure against artery walls is called blood pressure. Blood pressure, when the heart contracts, pushing blood into the arteries, the pressure in the arteries is high. When the heart is relaxed in between beats, pressure is much lower. In order to get an accurate picture of how much stress is being put on arteries, both numbers are measured as part of blood pressure. The pressure while the heart is contracting is reported first, then the pressure while the heart is relaxed. A normal blood pressure is less than 120/80. Having buildup on the artery walls due to a diet high in saturated fats can cause high blood pressure, putting stress on the vessels. Imagine putting your finger over the nozzle of a hose. Blood flows much faster at a much higher pressure. It's also possible that high blood pressure can cause pieces of the buildup to break off, and as it flows through smaller and smaller blood vessels, it can block capillaries. If it blocks the capillary in the heart, the result is a heart attack. If it happens in the brain, the result is a stroke. So don't forget when you're done to go back and take the quiz. So you will find it in the assignments folder, and it's called the Circulatory System. And here's the preview of the quiz.